If it's something that you can solve within 2 minutes and you have solutions and you can talk them through it, then excellent, do that. Because we don't want to leave the client hanging, but we also want to make sure that we're giving the client correct, accurate information. Hi, Therese Potter here with insurance communication tips for agents. So when you are communicating with a client, first and foremost, you want to think about, am I smiling? What kind of tone am I using? Am I using jargon? You want to make sure that you're not using jargon, that you're talking to them in a clear tone, you're talking in a good tempo, you're not talking too fast or too slow. As the client is speaking to you, upset, telling you about their issue, you need to listen in silence. When they finish speaking, you then need to reiterate or go back to them with whatever questions or problems that they were having. So, Mrs. Jones, I understand that this, and this is happening, and you are having trouble because of this. Is that correct? So you're basically reconfirming with the client what the problem is. At the same time, you're thinking of solutions. What kind of solutions can we come up with this issue? Now, you want to make sure you say, I understand, blah, 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 blah. This is the issue. Because you want to reiterate it. You want them to feel heard. You want to make sure that they know that you are listening and that you are going to solve that problem for them. So you're thinking of solutions, go through the solutions in your head, pick the best solution. Once you have that, and if you can't find the solution right then and there, you don't have to tell the client, hey, blah, 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 because you don't want to tell the client something that's incorrect. So if you don't know the answer, the best thing to do is, Mrs. Jones, instead of putting you on a long hold, I want to get in touch with the customer service representative you spoke to or the claims person you spoke to, and I want to get a little bit more information and dig into this. And for me to be able to do that, I don't want to keep you on the phone. So would it be okay if I called you back at 2:00 this afternoon? So you're telling the client, okay, let me dig into it. Let me get more information. And then you're giving them a by when that you're going to call them. You're giving them an expectation of when you're going to call them back. If it's something that you can solve within 2 minutes and you have solutions and you can talk them through it, then excellent, do that. Because we don't want to leave the client hanging, but we also want to make sure that we're giving the client correct, accurate information. Once you've done that, you definitely want to make sure that you're documenting everything, especially with an upset client. Document. Now, you don't have to write a book, but you need to make sure that you have the details, the problem, the actions you took, any communication, what you told them. I told her I would look into it, call her back, then type in the information and the details you find out before you call them back. So it's all in the system. But you definitely want to use conflict resolution strategies, stay calm and professional. You want to listen actively. You want to empathize with the client, not sympathize. Don't say I'm sorry, but say I understand. You want to avoid blame. Even if you know that the accident was their fault, it may not be the time to say that accident was your fault. There are moments when we know the client is at fault, but sometimes it's best to let the claims adjuster inform them of that. We want to make sure that we clarify issues and we propose solutions. Make sure you're negotiating fairly. So if necessary, negotiate to find common ground. So sometimes when you explain something one way, they don't understand it. It needs to be explained a different way. So look for those opportunities and make sure you follow through with the client. If necessary, seek supervision or mediation. So if it's something that's really difficult and you can't handle it, bring in a manager or an owner to deal with it. So learn from the conflict. Last and most importantly, after resolving a conflict, reflect on what caused it, how it was resolved, and use these insights to prevent similar issues in the future. And maintain privacy. Make sure that you don't share these kind of detailed conversations that shouldn't be shared outside the agency. If it needs to be shared, it should be with managers or operations. So we hope this helps give you some tips on how to talk to clients and how to deal with conflict. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day.